Welcome back to the podcast. You guys know me. I'm Sasha Davis. I'm the host over here, sharing some personal struggles, some tips, some tricks, whatever I can do to really help you overcome fear and become the best version of you. And today I want to talk about journaling. Believe it or not, I get a lot of questions about journaling. What journal do I get? How do I do it? What do I do? Do I set a timer? Do I write everything down? Do I only make a list? So I wanted to share with you a few ways that I journal and what's been really helpful for me to kind of get all of these thoughts onto paper and then organize. So my first thing for you guys is your journal does not have to be fancy. It does not have to be fancy. When I first started doing this, I literally went to the Dollar General and bought 47-cent notebooks and just a pack of pens. Like, that's what my journaling consisted of. And the first thing that I did, very first type of journaling I did, was called brain dumps. I often thought prior to learning all these techniques that journaling consisted of, Dear Diary, I have a crush on so-and-so. It reminded me of like my middle school days when I would write about all of the cute boys and bitchy girls and all of those things. Well, journaling is nothing like that now. We are adults. We are adulting. And so what I do first is a brain dump, okay? And what I mean by this, and I'm sure you've heard me mention this before, either in the podcast or on some of my videos. If you guys follow me on social media, I'm pretty active over on Instagram. You can follow me at Sasha L. Davis. Find me on there. I'm kind of digging Instagram right now. Back to the brain dump. Brain dump, brain dump, brain dump. Everything that it is in your brain, everything that you're thinking right now, get out onto paper. Everything. I'm talking what you need to do today, what you need to do tomorrow, what you need to do this week, this month, this year, this lifetime. Write it all down. And so this can kind of become a quick spiral for some. I have a very lengthy to-do list, let's say. I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish in my lifetime. And even like today and tomorrow, like I just have ridiculous to-do list. And so I would set myself a timer. I would set myself a timer for 10 minutes and just brain dump as much stuff that I could think of in 10 minutes and then be done with it, right? That is it. Otherwise, I would spend hours on hours and then I don't ever really feel accomplished because I spend too much time making lists rather than doing the things on the list. So do a brain dump and set yourself a timer. And it doesn't have to be pretty. Like I said, it does not have to be pretty. My journaling consisted mostly of lists. Like, oh, you have to clean, you have to sweep, you have to mop, you have to do laundry, you have to, write a blog, do a podcast, change the world. Like, all of these things are on my brain dump, right? And so then that's when the time management comes in or the planning comes in. Then you put those actions onto your planner and then you actually do them. You stick to your promises that you make to yourself and you take action on the things that you want in life, right? And I usually pick 5 or 10 of the highest leverage actions on there. Like, what do I need to do to become a better version of myself today? What do I need to do to become 1% better in my personal life, in my professional life, in my family, like all of these things? What do I need to do? And then a lot of why can't I talk today? I am so sorry, guys. And a lot of the other tasks on there that are, let's just say, like smaller tasks. They're not really high up on the priority. I will delegate them. I will ask for help. I don't put them on like the top of my list because you know what? The world will go on whether or not those things get done. So I consider those things like low priority, like sweeping my house. That may be a high priority item to somebody, but it is not to me. So therefore, I hired a housekeeper so that she could do the things that I don't want to do. And I can pay somebody for their efforts, which frees up my time to do things that I enjoy and that are life enhancing to me, right? And my family, which is also life enhancing to her because I am paying her, right? We're doing an energy exchange. I'm giving her money for her services, and so I'm sure she's happy about that too, because that's a little extra money in her pocket for doing something that she enjoys. So I look at it as a housekeeper as a win-win in my book, and that's always what I'm looking for, is a win-win situation, win-win scenario. Where can everybody win? And if you can't find a win-win, keep looking. All right, the next thing that I do is, journal prompts. Journal prompts are amazing. Sometimes we sit there and they're like, oh, I know I have so much that is going on in my head that I don't even know where to start. And that was me. My brain is always going like a million miles an hour. And so to think of just like one thing to write about, I was like, oh, I could write about this, or I could write about this. What about this? I can't forget about that. And so I found it very helpful to do journal prompts. And you can do these a few different ways. Again, set a timer for however long you want to do this so that you don't go down this rabbit hole where you waste 2-3 hours of your day just journaling instead of taking action. So I'm a big fan of Pinterest, and I a lot of times will look up journal prompt questions on there. Otherwise, there's tons of planners out there. I think there's a few on Amazon, like gratitude journaling and like daily journal or self-discovery journals, things like that. They're less than $10, you guys. Like, go buy one of those and it'll start helping you think outside the box on what it is that you want in life, right? And so some of the questions that I will ask is like, what is a picture perfect day? What do you want in life right now? What does your dream house look like? What does your dream career look like? How do you want to go to sleep every night? What was your happiest moment? What is your dream vacation? What does your dream spouse look like? What does your dream family look like? Do you consider yourself an optimist or a pessimist? There's a million questions. Like, what's your favorite color of hair? What color of hair do you really want? Like, how do you want to feel? What's your idea of self-care? What's your burnout plan? What do you want life to look like a month from now? What goals do you have for yourself in the next 6 months? I mean, the list is endless on the things that you could journal. You just have to go looking for the questions and then actually sit down and write the questions, right? You can also go down a rabbit hole of looking for journal prompts. So I don't want you to get in the habit of like, look. Like, just pick one, set a timer for 10 minutes, and write about it. Okay, and start to dig a little deeper, like start peeling back the layers of the onion, and each layer you peel back will just bring you a little bit closer to the person you were meant to be. Over the years, we tend to build up this really thick wall to keep everybody out. We've been burned a lot, and so our defense is on high. We're on the lookout or waiting for the next thing to go wrong. And so I challenge you to shift your mindset. So every time like you think a negative thing, like think the absolute opposite of that, which leads me into my next thing. I always talk about affirmations, right? Which is just pouring more positivity into your day. And so with the affirmations, for me, I say a lot of things. I tell myself, you're strong, you are brave, you are this, you are that. And for a while, I actually had to write it down. So like it's say it, see it, write it, believe it. And not overnight does things change. But each time that you say it, write it, feel it, believe it, you're a little bit closer to believing that. You're letting go a little bit more of resistance so that you can become that strong, brave, badass that you want to be and go after the things that you really want in life. So you can count that as your journaling too, is pick some affirmations that resonate with you and then write them down every day, twice a day, write them all over. Write reminders, things like that, things that you want to accomplish throughout the day. A lot of my clients need to, and myself included, get back to basics. Sometimes we overcomplicate things just because that's how our brain is. We're like, oh, this is too easy. How can I self-sabotage this and make it really, really hard? So one of the things that I tell everybody is, write how you can get back to basics today. What steps do you need to take to get back to basics today? And then write those reminders everywhere, write those affirmations everywhere, okay? You can count that as journaling too. And so my last tidbit that I want to leave for you as far as journaling goes is a lot of times I do like a nightly recap. And what I mean by this is I will journal for about 5 or 10 minutes about how my day went. What did I get done? How did I feel about my day? What did I want to do that I didn't get done? What do I need to move tomorrow? What do I need to rearrange? How can I do a little bit better tomorrow? Things like that, right? So I literally just go through my planner, or my Google Calendar, and I'm like, okay, I did this. And sometimes I do a mental recap, like, oh, I didn't get up quite as early as I wanted to. Oh, I didn't get out the door as quickly as I wanted to. Oh, my daughter was 15 minutes late for daycare. Or, I had really high expectations for all of these things that I wanted to get done, but a wrench was thrown in the mix because not everything always goes according to plan, and that's okay. I just kind of let go of what expectations I have placed on myself throughout the day, and I just know that I'm showing up, and my intention is to do my absolute best. And so I try to let go a lot of that resistance on, you guys know what I'm talking about, like at the end of the day where you're like, oh God, I wish I would have gotten this done. I wish I would have gotten that done. And you like beat yourself up for all of the things you didn't get done, rather than giving yourself grace and celebrating all of the things that you did get done. So it's just kind of reframing that mindset again. You're rewiring your brain to look at the positive and to reward yourself for the things that you did instead of beat yourself up for the things that you didn't, right? And so that's what I do every night. I'm like, okay, well, that didn't go according to plan. Note to self in the future, like this takes twice as long as I thought it takes. Or, I need to increase my prep time to get my kid ready for daycare a little bit sooner. I need to wake her up a little bit sooner, or whatever I need to do to course correct and readjust so that my next day goes a little bit smoother, right? And then the very last thing that I want to leave you with is I do gratitude journaling. And now I'm not perfect. I don't do all of these things every single day, but I try to do as much as I can each day, right? Like I don't beat myself up. I give myself grace, and I'm like, hey, you're showing up, you're doing the best you can with what you have, and just be 1% better than you were the day before. And so every night I try to focus on gratitude journaling. And I've learned this from a book called The Magic. And it's, I think, 28 or 30 days of gratitude. And so in there, there's actually, I don't think they do actual gratitude journaling. I think they just do the magic rock. Maybe they do gratitude journaling too. And so I've kind of combined the two, and, put my own Sasha twist on it. But I try to go through my day and figure out what was the best thing that happened to me today, the absolute best thing that happened to me today. And so when you start to inventory all of the things that happened, you're like, oh my gosh, like how do I choose? Like everything's so awesome. Like for me, a lot of times I'm like, well, I get to wake my daughter up and I get to see her in the morning. Like we get to hang out in the morning. I get to create my own schedule. I get to like make breakfast at home. I get to, I just think of all these things. Like I have these amazing conversations. I get to connect with awesome people. I get to work on my own terms. I get to live life by my own terms, and not that like this happened overnight, you guys, but you go through and I still have a long ways to go. Let's be honest. Like I have big goals and I am well on my way. And so I go through and I'm like, okay, what are the best things that happened to me today? And a lot of times I have a hard time choosing what the best thing was, or if I'm in like a bad place where I'm just like, oh, this day fucking sucked. I hated everything about this day. This is like the worst day. I can't wait to go to sleep and just start over. And then I do that gratitude journaling, and I hold that magic rock and I'm writing like, what was the best thing? What was the best thing? Like, how do you, I woke up, right? Like, that's amazing. Like, I have a beating heart. That's amazing. I have a roof over my head. That's amazing. I have amazing clients. I have amazing family. I have an amazing job, amazing career. I have a reliable vehicle. I'm able to pay my bills on like, you just go through all of the things that you are grateful for, right? And you turn it around. Like, I am still here. I'm still living. I'm still breathing. So are you guys. We have the luxury of beating hearts and phones to listen to each other through a podcast and just recognize what all we actually have to be grateful for in this very moment. And if you're a mother, even if you're not a mother, like if you're a fur mom, or if you have close family members, if you have a spouse, if you have a mom, all you have to do is look at that family member and be like, I have that person and they have me. Like that in itself, like, be grateful for that. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't look at my daughter or my husband and I'm just like I almost melt, because I'm like, I'm so grateful. And then I, get all teary-eyed, and, now I cry all the time. So that's just a thing, I guess. As you experience more inner freedom, apparently your tears and everything, with the gratitude and the freedom comes the freaking crying. So just, it happens. And I used to get really upset about it, and not so much anymore. I'm just like, whatever. My body's response to gratitude is tears, so I will take it. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I really hope that you found this somewhat helpful. Just set a timer, pick a few things that you want to write about that will help you become the person that you're meant to be. Don't beat yourself up if it's not perfect. Just know that your intention is to do the best you can with what you have, right? And if you get stuck, ask for help. There's this amazing free machine called Google, and it'll give you just about any resource that you could possibly want. Same with YouTube. Like, if you don't know something, YouTube it. Or, if you want my take on it, keep the emails coming, you guys. I love it when you're like, hey, what's your take on this? What's your take on that? Or if you enjoyed a podcast, anything like that. I love your emails. Send them over to support@sashadavis.com. And then my last bit for you is, if you enjoyed this, please leave a written review. I love reading your guys' reviews. It really means a lot to me, and it helps me know what you want me to talk about. And it also helps me get more people on this show, and it helps more people see and be able to search for this show. So please write your review. I would be so grateful. I love it. All right, cool. Well, until next time, you guys, go out there, be a badass, live your dream life, conquer those fears, right? Get out there and just be bold, be brave, be you.